Hi, welcome to ART169. My name is Samantha Austin, and I am your instructor. We're going to do a little talk first about what to expect from this class, and we'll do the syllabus, which even an online class, I would feel more comfortable if I read it out to you. I teach the in-person Art 169 I have for several semesters here at Phoenix College. It's a Tuesday, Thursday class. Yes, my screen is black. And this is my first time teaching the online section. And we're going to talk a little bit what to expect from the class. Then we're going to jump into the syllabus. And yes, I know you can read, but there's always great gems in my video lectures. So Art 169 is a 2D design course in a digital space, and that is the best way I describe it. So we focus on traditional design terms. We think about how to create a creative process. We'll talk a lot this semester what the creative process is. How do you develop creative artworks and designs? We also think about problem solving, and you'll be given a task and an assignment, and you'll have to kind of figure out the best way to create that assignment, attack the problem, and especially if you don't have a lot of digital skills, is how's the best way to communicate your thoughts and ideas. Very digital techniques. This is not a software class. This class is not to teach you the basics of Photoshop or Illustrator. However, we will start off with a crash course of Photoshop and Illustrator to help evaluate your skills. We will do demos on the pen tool, different processes, masking, how to make mandalas, different transformative techniques in both Photoshop and Illustrator. So we'll do demos throughout the semester to help you kind of make sure your skills are meeting up. Be expected to pull stuff in from your other classes. It is expected you take Art 100 before this class or concurrently. And a lot of people are also enrolled into the other creative classes as well, so definitely bring in things you know from them. We'll focus on critiquing artwork. So not only evaluating your own process, but evaluating the process of your peers, providing good feedback so they can improve their work, contemporary art practices. So we'll focus on what does it mean to be an artist contemporary today, pushing your limits. You'll see in a lot of our video artist lectures that I don't pull from digital mostly. I pull from fibers, quilts, ceramics, sculpture, design. I pull from all sorts of different resources so we can see how these tools and methods were applied. And in my in-person class, we go over digital printing. If that's something you're curious about, email me. We can kind of try to discuss that further. But we also look at how to create a digital portfolio. So this is your textbook, and it's an old textbook. It is sort of written for 2D drawing and painting, and we'll go over those details throughout the semester. However, it is a good textbook. This is where all of your assignments are going to come from. So if you do not have a copy of this textbook, you need to get it ASAP. You can find it cheap on Amazon. It's on our campus bookstore. There's not an ebook version to my knowledge. If there is, definitely share it with the class. The book is fairly cheap, and it has some really good stuff in it. You will also get additional PDFs because there's some things I don't believe the book explains thoroughly, and we'll have additional readings throughout the semester. So what to expect, what do you need for this class? Now, you are working online, so most of you are working at hard drive or portable media. So all of my work is on a portable hard drive. I carry it with me. I'm able to pop it into any computer that I'm using and take my files with me. I find this to be the best method because we all know too often that our technology is not our friend. And files get lost. So if it's stored on a flash drive or on your hard drive, if your computer stops working, you can come to the campus library or use another computer to use that as well. Also, now again, you're working from home, so I can't check this, but you should have a notebook of sorts to jot down all of your ideas. It could be your sketchbook for another class. I carry mine with me everywhere. Your sketchbooks, they could be so many different processes. They're not always just drawings. Mine are all written down. Sometimes they're collages, but something physical for you to kind of collect your ideas and your thoughts and your notes. And that's something that you should carry around. So take notes over my video lectures, things that you see. When you go out to the museum, bring your sketchbook, your notebook, and just get your ideas out. So the type of work we'll be doing all sorts of type of work in this class. We're going to look at some previous students' work. Some students use this class to kind of build their portfolio. All students build their portfolio. But some of the students got to experiment in things. So this student wanted to play on digital painting. So they had created characters for stories they've written, and they wanted to create visual parts to it. Students will learn photo collage and montage, and you can really sort of how to edit existing pictures off the internet and make them unique and tell stories with your work. We'll even look at sort of the basic foundations. So this pointillism project is a sample from, I think, the first set that we go over, and how to layer and give sort of illusion in a digital space. So this would be a typical draw in a 2D pen and ink class, but we're taking it into a digital space. Again, pushing to things you've learned, different lighting techniques, all within Photoshop. Playing with simple forms as well. And even adding humor to your work, which is really important. So we're going to jump over to the syllabus, and these PDFs are located online. So we're over the syllabus. Now don't leave the video yet. There will be a quiz. So with our syllabus, it is the online Canvas format class. So we'll be communicating via Canvas for this class. My email is samantha.austin@phoenixcollege.edu. However, the best way to communicate with me is that Canvas app. So when you're in Canvas and you're in that messenger, that's the best way to email me. I have a Canvas app on my iPhone. I get back to you as soon as I can. Give me about 48 hours within the week. If it's on the weekend, give me about 72 hours. Students in the past will tell you I will communicate very quickly. However, sometimes I am busy, I am working on other projects, I am out of town for conferences, and I try to get back to you the best I can. When you do message me, your subject title needs to be ART169-online-your name. This helps me figure out who is contacting me and what your name is. I have my cell phone in there for emergencies only. This is if all of your files are crashing, give me a call. Hopefully I can kind of talk you out of it and help you figure out the issue. But the best way will be email or Canvas inbox. When you leave questions about your grade within Canvas and the comments on Canvas, that is not an acceptable manner of communication. It's very difficult for me to kind of go back and respond to that and find that information. If you have a question about your grade, email me directly about your grade. Do not post on your comments on your grade. So again, this is, we're going to create 2D images in this class in a digital space within 2D design forms and creative processes. This is not a software class. You need to have taken ART 100 before, or you need to be co-enrolled in it as well. So the textbook, Design Synetics, we went over it previously. It is on Amazon. The ISBN is located in the syllabus. Again, you should have a flash drive or a portable hard drive, you need to keep your work off of somewhere stable that is not on your computer and not on a Google Drive account. Now, I say Google Drive account, we use that as how to submit our work, and it's a great secondary source. But more often than not, our internet doesn't work. And that if your internet doesn't work and you can't get to your files, you're SOL. So, having it on a flash drive or a hard drive, you have a physical copy of your work that you can get up and go elsewhere to use your work. I'm always about putting your work secondary on the internet or in a different flash drive, a different storage space. I never store my personal files on my personal computer because I've had computers crash. And if my computer crashes, I lose all my files, and I'm a very sad person. To download various free materials, which we'll do throughout the semester, you'll need to make some free accounts. You need to have access to a computer with Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. We will be using both of these programs throughout the semester. If you don't have access to these, it is key for this class. I will only accept Photoshop or Illustrator files, but we have Photoshop and Illustrator on campus within our Open Labs, which I'll post our Open Lab schedule once we get it figured out. And also our campus library here at Phoenix College has the Creative Cloud. So you do have access as a student to the Creative Cloud on campus. So standard grading materials. When you turn in your work, I want everything you need to be able to respond to meet all the expectations and read the rubrics when you turn in your work. We will do participation via Canvas in the discussions format, and those will be within all the modules. We will have extra credit throughout the semester where you can get extra credit for doing various activities, and I will post that throughout the semester. You are eligible to redo an assignment, which is something that not many people take me up on. So once you receive a grade, and if you're not happy about it, you can send an email not more than a week after you received your grade. You must provide me an outline on how you want to improve your assignment. So maybe you want to redo it all. Maybe there's parts that you did not like that you wanted to redo. Maybe you were rushed. The new grade will cancel out the old one. However, the request may not be granted, so we will talk back and forth on if your request will be granted. Don't just email me with a new submission because that will not be granted. We need to make a plan for your success. You can only redo 2 assignments throughout the course. So I do take late work. So if you didn't turn your work in and there's a due date and time, so your work will be due at 11:59 p.m. And you have about 1 week to submit your work in for late work after the due date. So any work that's late has a 15% off final grade. So if you submit it, so if, let's say the work is due at 9:20 on 9/20 Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. And if you submit your work at Tuesday 9/20 at 3 p.m., it is late 15% off. And after 7 days, I won't accept late work. And Canvas will actually close out and you won't be able to turn in work late. Now, if you're wanting to be a designer, a photographer, or anything in the creative arts or any other job, you do have deadlines and rules to adhere to. And your client may not be happy if you turn in work late. So this is practice to get you have deadlines, managing your time effectively, and especially in an online class, it can be difficult. So if you tell me your work is late, don't say my computer broke because you have backup. You have a secondary source to store your work outside your hard drive. Your internet went out. Well, you can text me. If you all have phones, you can text me and say, my internet's working out. Here's my Cox outage map. And talk to me about it. If you're not good at it, then you're not trying. This class is for you to get better. Now, if you're going to be working me late, let me know. I'll work with you. But if you email me like 2 minutes before, say it's going to be late, I'm probably not going to work with you. So you must submit all of your work on Canvas. So each studio action will have a JPEG required and a Photoshop or Illustrator file. I need both because sometimes look at your Photoshop and Illustrator files. If you fail to provide a PSD or Illustrator file with your submission, 50% will be off your total grade or no grade will be given. So when we start using images off the internet, you'll need to cite your sources, and we'll talk about that once we get to there on set 3. And I'm kind of a stickler on this, but all your files need to be named as first name, last name, underscore, set number. So if it's set 1, not the number sign. I never want to see a number sign in a file name. I repeat, never put the number sign or hashtag in a file name. Underscore number dash numbers. So if it's set 1 underscore 5.3 and then the extension. So if we look at for set 2, Studio Action 1.8, it would look like Samantha Austin underscore set 2 underscore 1-8.jpg. If you fail to submit your assignments in this format, points will be off your grade. You never put a space in a file name. I know sometimes it works, but I will not accept spaces in a file name. Hashtags do not belong in file names. It needs to follow this format. I am a stickler on this. Once you get into a job where you're working with clients and you have to upload for a newspaper, they need specific file names because maybe that corresponds with their content management system, and if it's not in that specific file name, then it won't be able to read it. If I cannot open your files, I cannot grade them, so you need to send them in a file that I can open in. Check all of your files before you submit them. You'll submit all of your files on Google Drive, and there will be a module page on it as well. So each Maricopa email comes with a free Drive account with unlimited space, which is awesome. We will demo how to share the files in Google Drive, but you'll make a folder for each set that you make in the following naming convention. So your name dash set number. For example, Samantha Austin dash set 2. Very simple. That way I know when I download the folders whose set it is for and what number it's for and who it's for. You will get link. Again, this will be demoed in a video. Post it on a submission on Canvas. Simply having your files in Google Drive does not count as a submission. So if you put your files in Google Drive and don't share them with me, it doesn't count. It's your responsibility to make sure I have what I need to grade. If you fail to name your Google files or Google Drive folders correctly, you get a 5% point deduction. I'm a stickler on this. So the course content is contemporary art. Contemporary art encompasses so many things. It challenges you. It makes you feel. Sometimes these things will challenge your own personal morals and feelings, and that is fine. No one's telling you to not have those feelings. So we'll look at all this stuff, and some of the stuff may be pushing your limits, so keep that in mind. I just skipped ahead. Been doing the syllabus for so long. Again, you'll practice your technical skills and have an opportunity to practice in Photoshop and Illustrator. You'll have a brand new set of digital skills. You can read over the course policies. So it is for an online class, it's expected you spend about 50 minutes per online instruction per credit hour. So this is a 3 credit hour class. So expect to spend about 50 minutes per hour, so nearly 3 hours each week online for the class, viewing animations, completing assignments, viewing PowerPoints, reading materials, etc. That's for your in-class time. And expect to spend about 6 hours outside of class to work. So keep that in mind. You can read withdrawals, student conduct, again. We'll talk about etiquette. So when we do critique, you need to see the good and the bad. Don't flower your peers with good comments because they're your friend or you don't want to be mean. Everyone has an opinion, and sharing it helps everyone grow as artists. Critiques are not personal attacks. If someone doesn't like your work, it doesn't mean they don't like you. So everyone's going to be treated with respect in the classroom. Rudeness, eye rolling, or name calling. Again, no one can see your eyes on the computer, but they can read subtext. So you need to be respectful with everybody within our discussion boards. Treat everyone with respect. Again, controversial course content. That's what I was getting to earlier. So, course content is not censored. So students may do nudity, make work that challenges religion or your personal beliefs or political beliefs, and that is their opinion, their work. Now, when you make work, you have to own every part of it. If you make something that could be controversial and you put it out there, you have to own every part that you put out there. So you need to recognize the thoughts and feelings that people may have about your art when you put out there. Yes, it is your art, but you've made that statement out into the world. So some of the stuff we may look at in the class may be pushing boundaries that you may not be acceptable with. So let me know. We can talk about personally and move forward to have that discussion. Academic misconduct, which is different in art and Photoshop. So we'll be using original ideas. So if you see something cool on Pinterest, don't copy it. You have to make it original. If you follow a cool tutorial and it kind of fits the assignment, that's plagiarism because that's not your own original work. We'll talk more about copyright and using images off the internet throughout the semester, but everything you create must be unique to yourself. And Google image reverse search can narrow this down to see if your image has been published or close to be published on the internet. And that's about it for the syllabus. Your next step will probably be the syllabus quiz, and we will have an online discussion board to introduce ourselves to everybody. So I'm excited for this semester, and can't wait to hear about what you guys think about it.